Damn, son, the chat's already popping. We haven't even gone live yet.
And we are now live. The chat is absolutely popping here. Appreciate everyone being here. As promised, we are here after game 6. Panthers win the series 4-2. The New York Rangers are officially eliminated. We will be given our thoughts, our opinions, our analysis, everything that you might want to hear. We know there's going to be a lot of trolling, especially after the last stream. Listen, it happens. This is what we sign up for when we talk about this team and we come up on here on screen and talk hockey. And we love it. We hate it, but we love it. This is a love-hate relationship, and especially after a tough elimination game like this in a year that was very promising for the Rangers. But we'll get into all of that and just a little bit of, I guess, an upfront statement. We will be doing off-season content as well. This is obviously going to be the last post-game live for the Blueshirts Banner Boys here, but we will be doing some off-season content. We'll probably take about a week to review the season, and then we'll get after it with maybe like a season recap. So for all your Rangers fans out there, we definitely appreciate you all being here. Panthers fans as well. Naturally, we know Panthers fans are going to be in here trolling a little bit. It's expected, and you all deserve it. I'm not going to lie to you. You deserve it. Your team won, and that's that. So as always, though, regardless of who you're a fan of, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want more hockey content on this channel moving forward. Obviously, like I said, we're going to take about a week, maybe do a little bit of a season review, and we'll go about the offseason that way and continue with the coverage. Other than that, subscribe, hit the live chat. We want to hear it all. What did you all think? What did you all think of this game, this series, the season, all that? So I'm gonna say what's up to the fellas here. Some opening statements before we really dive deep into this game, the X's and O's, because I'm not gonna lie to you, it was embarrassing. It was a little bit embarrassing, in my humble opinion. So Aaron, I'm gonna start off with you, and then we'll move over to Jerry. So how are you guys doing today?
A little disappointed in this team, especially after the second period. They just gave up, and it was only 1-0 in the game. Very lackadaisy. The entire the defensive front tonight was god awful. They've been very awful in the series. I don't like that Laviette didn't bring up Zach Jones. Adam Fox should have been out for at least 2 games. Hero ball in this situation is not going to work. It didn't work. Obviously, I mean, again, hats off to the Panthers. They won 4-2. I think this stings more than the Lightning 2022 Eastern Conference Finals just because this team was giving up in most of the games. They weren't getting near the Panther side of the zone. They weren't making any shot attempts. They had 5 in the third period to make it 20. I really don't think Bobrovsky is that great that people think he is, but that's just my opinion. Everyone can disagree on that. It's fine. I just think because he didn't have any pucks in his area, he could just chill for most of the guys. But I mean, yeah, Larry. I mean, you needed something. That defensive front wasn't doing anything for us. They're all traffic cones out there, but that's all I gotta say.
Jerry, what you got for us? I know you're a man of many words, and we're going to get into it tonight. So, what you got for us up here, up front?
I'm at the end of my rope. I've had a long day. I'm out in the sun, doing things, whatever. Talked about it last show. Um, yeah, this didn't. So I watched the game. I was at a bar, and I was going nuts. Whatever. Big saves, big shots, whatever. Yelling at the TV, doing what I do. Got yelled at a couple times by a couple people. Whatever. Don't care. Don't care. Um, I watched the last. I got home with, I don't know, 8, 9 minutes left in the third. Watched it. All right, where I got home right after Tarasenko, I guess, because Aaron said my sweet boy scored the goal. It's my guy. I miss him. Wish he was here, but whatever. Got home after the goal, and whatever. Watched the third. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't care. Panarin scored, didn't pop. Said, all right, we got a life. Whatever. Too little, too late. Was what it was. Things didn't get real until I closed my door and CP clicked live on this show. And now that I sit here in front of a microphone and I look at these handles on YouTube in the chat, and I just see the disappointment, the upsettingness, and whatever you want to call it. You can throw any adjective you want at it. That sucked, man. That sucked so bad. And just I don't know. You want to think that a team with the most comeback wins, correct me if I'm wrong here, in the history of the NHL?
Yeah, 'cause it was 34. Yeah.
History of the NHL with the most comeback wins, when their back's against the wall, they're going to come in and show up and do what they got to do. I called my shot. I'll eat my crow. He got one. It wasn't 5, but he got one. And somebody had to show up eventually, right? But, too little, too late. I don't know, man. This this blows. I wasn't sad before, and my girlfriend was like, she came out, she gave me a kiss. She's like, "I'm sorry, babe." And I'm like, "It's all right. It's whatever. It's fine. It's just a game. It's just dumb sport." And no. No, it's not. It's just New York Rangers hockey. And I'm incredibly sad about it. And like I said on my fucking Instagram, you might get tears. You might get tears, man. Yeah. We got this guy's new, Timothy Frith, whatever his name is. You have a weird last name. You're stupid. I don't know. I'm not engaging in trolls. I was told specifically not to engage in trolls tonight. We're just talking strictly analysis here. So I'm not even gonna look at the chat. We're gonna go into private chat. Not even gonna look at the chat. I don't care what you say. You can say whatever you want. Run your mouth. Go ahead. Celebrate you win. Fact of the matter is here, best team won. The Panthers are a great hockey team. We didn't have the answers tonight. That's what it was. And we needed them. They weren't here. And like I said before, back against the wall, I expected this team to show up, and they just didn't. They weren't there. And it hurt my soul because, 82 games, it's not the MLB. It's not 162, but I watched probably out of these 82 games, I don't know, 70 maybe. And that's on the low end. It might even be 75, maybe close to 78. Like I watch this team. I'm on vacation. I watch this team. I'm in the car. I listen to this team. I go out of my way to pay attention to this team. This is the one sport I like. No, that's not true because I love football. But the Jets are the Jets, whatever. This is the one team that dictates how I feel on a daily basis. And just to be here now as the President's Trophy, and I guess the President's Trophy curse lives on, whatever.
Yes, it does.
Sucks, man, dude. It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
Bad. Like, it's just, God damn it. I'm sorry for cursing up a storm here, YouTube. Please don't demonetize us. We still want to get that money, even though we're not getting any right now, but we want to grow. We want to be good. We are good. We gotten to where we have to be. We've been having, you know what I want to do? I'm going to do this. Let's flip the script real quick. I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up after every single game throughout the playoffs. We've touched numbers that I started this. Chris and I, we met on my football show on Sunny Days Media. We're live on that channel right now, too. We do the Sunny Days, Thursday, and Sunday show. It's fantastic. Check us out during the fall. I met Chris there, and we started doing that in September. And Chris was telling me, like, dude, I got this, like, New York sports channel, and we do Knicks, we do Rangers, we do Giants, we do Mets, we do all this stuff. Like, oh, it's cool. Like, if you want to talk Rangers, let me know. That's my team. Those are my guys. Sure enough, a couple weeks into October, he texted me. He's like, "Yo, Jerry, what's good, man? You want to like hop on this show? I'm doing this with my boy Aaron, and we're gonna talk Rangers hockey." And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it." We were rolling. We were great. We came out of the gate hot, and I jumped in that third chair, and we were off to the races. I think I brought you guys from like 5 views a game to 7, still low numbers. And Aaron and I and Chris, when he was available during the regular season, we came in, night out, week in, week out, whatever we did, here and there, twice a week, once a week, whatever it was. We did our show. We talked about our team, and we just had fun. We were doing, 10 views, 15 views on a good day, maybe 150 after everything live. And it was just, all right, whatever. Like, this is fun. Game 1 of the first round of the playoff rolls around, and Chris texted us and he was like, yo, we just got like 750 views on this video. Like, what's good, man? Like, it's to have all you guys here with us throughout this journey. It just means a lot because this is just a hobby for me. You know, I'm not in this. I don't make any money. We don't make any money. At least I don't think. If we do, I'm not seeing it, but that's an offline conversation. But, you know, this is fun. And I enjoy coming in here, whether it's a good night or a bad night. It doesn't matter to me. Rangers hockey is Rangers hockey. I want to thank each and every one of you, even the shithead Panthers fans that are here to call me a pedophile and do whatever. I'm not shaving my mustache. Did not make the bet. Didn't agree to it. It was what it was. We lost. You guys are better. We'll get into that later. But every one of you guys, we've eclipsed 1,000 views more times than I've ever thought I would have as a podcaster, and it's unbelievable. So that wasn't tears. That was something stuck in my throat.
Not yet, at least.
No, it's been a hell of a ride, man. It's been awesome, and I hope each and every one of you guys stick around because Blueshirts Banters we're not going anywhere. We're gonna keep doing this next season, the season after that, the season after that. We're gonna keep doing this till we win a cup, and then after we win a cup, we're gonna be insufferable, and the train's just gonna keep rolling because that's just what we do in New York Rangers hockey. And it's been great, guys. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I can't say this enough. It's been awesome. And I hope everyone sticks around for CPNY. Tune into Sunny Days Media for when football kicks around. CP has Giants content coming up. He does great Knicks stuff during the basketball season. He's doing Met stuff right now. All this great New York sports content. If you're a Rangers fan, I'm assuming you're also into other New York sports. This is the place to be, and you guys are what makes it the place to be. And it's been a hell of a ride, guys. It really has. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it.
I think that's
made
a perfect.
It legit. It's gone from my girlfriend laughs at me night in and night out. It's like, oh, I got to do a stream tonight. I got a podcast. I got this. I got that. She's like, what are you doing this for? And I'm like, you know, I'm just
below the Rangers.
Yeah, like I'm just doing this for fun. Like I just want to get my thoughts out there. I just like podcasting and having a good time with my friends on the YouTube and just doing whatever. And then 500 people showed up, then 700 people showed up, then 1,000 people showed up, and then 15, and just the numbers just kept climbing and climbing and climbing. And fact of the matter is, now we're legit, guys. Like that's just, you know, and we couldn't have done it without. You know, I got 30 comments in the chat. I'm still not going to open the chat. I don't want to know what everyone's saying right now because we're just going to go off the rails more than I already am. And I'm really trying hard to deflect right now. I'm not going to lie to you because whatever. Obviously, what happened. But it's been great. So thank you, everybody. Please stick around. I can't sit here and say we're going to promise you off-season content. Like Chris said, we're going to have a season recap show. I'm very into that. Talk about what went wrong, what went right, what could have been better, where we can improve, all that good stuff. Maybe we'll catch a draft show. Maybe if there's a giant offseason acquisition, we'll definitely be here, all this stuff. But you can bet your bottom dollar. October, I'm going to spitball here, October 12th, whenever opening night might be, maybe even it's like September 20th. I don't know. But whenever opening night is, you know where to find us. Stay subscribed. Keep liking these videos. It helps a bunch. We appreciate all of you.
I don't even have to promo the podcast anymore. That's like all the promo that you need. Everything Jerry just said, I 100% echo. And like I said, just tip your caps to the Panthers. Like you said, the better team won. It's undeniable. And we will get into the X's and O's of this game just a little bit, but I think that was a perfect way to start off this stream just by thanking everybody, both Panthers fans and Rangers fans alike, as well as fans of just hockey in general that like good hockey, which we saw on display fully throughout the series, right? And it really was a dogfight type of series. And I know that we are disappointed with the outcome, and I know that we're disappointed with maybe some of the effort at times and the results of this series. But at the end of the day, outside of game one, every single game, no matter how you cut it, finished within one goal, right? A 1-goal differential. And that's just good hockey. That's the epitome of good hockey. But anyways, let's talk a little bit here. And there's a lot of comments in this chat, and I'm reading each and every one of them. I will toss up some comments here as we go. But I didn't want to disrupt the flow of Jerry's sentiment, because I think it was really important to start the stream off that way. Listen, this was a tough game, and I never put a ghost because I really just don't like just poking fun at the Rangers and the lack of showing, but I really had to tonight because I was really disappointed with the results of how they went about moving the puck in the offensive zone. And obviously they get the late game goal by Artemi Panarin, too little too late, with a minute and a half left in the third period. Quite simple. Aaron, you said it best before we went live. 5 shots in total, I believe, on net in the third period. Only 3 of those came after the first 10 and a half minutes in the third period. It simply wasn't good enough at all. And then you combine that with, I think, the most alarming thing here, because we've seen consistently, maybe outside of like game either 2 or 3, that the Panthers outshoot the Rangers. It was the same thing in the Carolina series, and it was the same thing in this series. That was no different. What mattered here to me is look at this discrepancy of the blocked shots in favor of the Panthers. Not only did Sergei Bobrovsky do his job and did it well, those guys on the defensive side of the puck for the Panthers put their body and their bodies on the line in each period, and they didn't stop to continue to help and take pressure off of Sergei Bobrovsky. And I'm not going to lie, I think at times in this series, the Rangers defensemen did a good job at that, but tonight certainly wasn't that. And Aaron, I'm going to transition to you here because we obviously text back and forth, the trio of us, during these games, right? And I know that a lot of discussion moving forward on this stream and just into the off season is going to be about the guys on the offensive side of the puck. Chris Kreider, who is basically a ghost as well in terms of the goals scored category this series. Artemi Panarin, who before tonight didn't score in 8 games. Mika Zibanejad, who is just got extended, right, a couple seasons ago. So we're stuck with him because he has a no movement clause on his contract as well. But the defenseman, Trouba, horrible series. Trouba, horrible series, right? We can just go up and down. Adam Fox looking like he's skating out there injured, like not the same Adam Fox. What do you make of this defensive core, Aaron? Not only tonight, but just moving forward. And I know that I'm not sure if 1119, I forgot the handle, Paris is in here in the chat, who was screaming at the top of their lungs to us that some sort of defensive substitution needed to be made, whether it's Zach Jones or whoever else, to sort of bring some life on this defense, right? Because Lindgren's been playing hurt. We know that. Adam Fox, we don't know officially, if he's been playing hurt, but it looks like it. Some sort of different look on the defensive side of the puck, and it didn't happen. So they rolled with it. Laviolette rolled with the classic lines there. And you know what? I'm not going to say it burned him, but you got to think and look back. We're going to look back and be like, what if he made a change there? So, Aaron, what do you think? Defense, talk to me up front before we get into the offense.
Boy. So I mean, a lot showed though. I mean, with this defensive front 6. I mean, Igor was pretty much everything. His offense,
Igor
defense,
played
and
great.
specials.
Igor played great.
Yeah, he
tonight.
played. He was standing on his head this entire series. So I have no problems with Igor in this one. It was the people in front of him; they weren't doing anything. I mean, sure, I've seen Trouba at the time have the most blocked shots on the team. They just didn't have that energy in this series. It just looked like we talked about in Game 1. The Florida Panthers were just suffocating all of our players, and they were doing the same thing on defense. They were a little bit faster than us, and it just seemed like at times, even you said it, Chris, in the chat, they all looked lost. They didn't know what they were doing. It's like, what? You're getting paid money. You don't know what you're doing in the biggest games of your life. So, I mean, it is what it is in the defensive front, but I think there's changes need to come. I think it's going to be shaken up a lot this offseason. And I think I saw someone on Twitter, they said that we've traded away two captains in general at the trade deadline. Don't be surprised Jacob Trouba gets traded. I could see him getting traded because I think if you cut him, the dead cap kind of hits after like 2 years. But I don't see Jacob Trouba back here. He's a great guy to block shots, get the hits that you need. A good goon. But in this series, he was turning into like Ryan Reeves his second year with the Rangers when we traded him off to Minnesota. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that one for the defense, at least.
Jay, what you got for us on the topic?
Hold on, I'm sending a very heartfelt note to our pal Mason.
Oh, yes, Mason, we appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Biggest supporter on the show.
Yeah, great support on the show.
I'll say it out loud.
Some comments here.
Mason,
let me get to
dude,
some comments here before you go, Jerry.
You were one of the 5 that I was talking about before when nobody was watching the show, and you were always there, always tuning in, always vocal, always supporting. We appreciate everything you do, and we're here. Let's go Mets now. I know you're at Strawberry Day today and everything, so
listen,
looking
Jerry,
forward to next year.
Talking about some pain, I have to go from this loss to this Mets team right in the back of me here. That is going to be a tough task, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I got the summer off now. I mean, I'll be watching Yankees baseball here and there, but now I get to, I'm gonna go on vacation. Not gonna think about anything. I don't have to plan my dates around a possible parade. All this stuff. So that's a plus.
So, but listen, it's comments like this, Jerry, right here, just before we go. It's comments like this that make doing this literally for fun.
Yeah.
This is why we get on here and do it. Like, we appreciate the recognition, and we don't even do it for the monetization because we just love talking puck.
It's
we love
fun,
talking
man.
ball.
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's not even a goal here to make money out of it. It's just I want to come in here and shoot the shit about my favorite sports team with my guys, with whoever wants to listen to me talk. I don't care. That's why I stopped writing blogs, man. It's just easier to talk. Anyways, let's get into the nitty-gritty here. Let's talk about defense. And, if you watch the show, if you're among Mason, among Will Hickey, my dad, all these people who have been here from the start of the season through the highs and the lows, there's one thing that Jerry has said the entire season is that we suck at defense. And as a defenseman myself, I played defense now for probably 10, 15 years. The biggest thing is you got to protect your house. And we just didn't do it. And I want to see, listen, Keandre, I know myself and Keandre Miller have had some words. And it is what it is.
What a trap.
Bygones are bygones. I can't sit here and say he didn't play horrendously. This playoff series, I thought he looked all right. He was showing up. He was doing what he had to do. He's young. That's just the name of his game. Kind of very similar to Fox in the sense that he's not an offensive first-minded defenseman, but like his mind is, I need to make something happen. I'm going to skate with this puck up. I'm not going to sit home and protect the blue line and, clear out the crease and all that good stuff. It's just not how he plays. And all right, fine. That's how it goes. But guys like Trouba rip with full force, rip that letter off his chest. If he comes into the Garden next October and he's wearing a C, I'm going to have some words on the first Blueshirts banter of the season. I think it is abysmal. Listen, it was a hot button topic today on Twitter because Spit and Chicklets talked about it, not to plug our competitors because we're so neck and neck with viewership these days. But Spit and Chicklets talked about Trouba and his wife and whatever, got in some hot water. We're not going to go into that. I don't care about that. But when you're an absolute liability to your team, you leave the team in penalty minutes and bad penalties at that. They're not even good penalties. You're the captain. You're not doing anything to help the team. You're not doing anything to help succeed with the team. Sure, you're blocking shots. That's all well and fun. And yeah, you got a couple points in your bag, whatever. But when you're the captain of a team, you need to be there. You need to be the face of that team. You need to be, and I get it. This guy won the Mark Messier Leadership Award. I think that's a fake award. I think it just came out this year and they gave it to a Ranger because it's the Mark Messier Award. That's neither here nor there, whatever. But at the end of the day, when you look at things, man, I saw a press clipping. I sent it in the group chat. I tweeted it out. Chris Kreider came out and gave us a guarantee. Guarantee didn't hit. It is what it is. Jerry gave a guarantee too. Sometimes guarantees, you're wrong. You call your shot, you miss, whatever. Shit happens. But for Chris Kreider to come out in the media and say, we're going to win this game. One way or the other, we're going to win this game. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I have the exact quote saved. I'm not going to get into it. Whatever. It doesn't matter now. Nothing matters now. And then even Vinny Trocheck came out and said something similar where it's like our backs are against the wall here and we're going to show up, whatever. And it didn't happen. And B, these types of words should be coming from the person who's wearing the C on your chest. It's imperative for people like myself and everyone in the comments who's not being a dickbag right now, who's a Rangers fan. We need to hear this type of support from our captain to know that we are being held safe like the babies we are. We're New York sports fans. We need that level of comfort. That's just how we feel better, especially when it's game 6 and our backs are against the wall. Like, it just bothers me so much because Mark Messier is Mark Messier because he made the guarantee, and the guarantee meant so much because he was the captain and he came out and he did this and he scored a natural hat trick and he made things happen. And can you imagine if Jacob Trouba, our captain of the New York Rangers, came out and did whatever he had to do to win this game? Because he didn't. It's not what I saw. It's not what you guys saw. He hasn't done anything the entire series long. Not with this series alone either. It wasn't like a Mika or like a Brett where he just got dominated by the Cats and the better team won and got the best of them. If that would have been the case, okay, fine. But the fact that he just hasn't been active at all throughout the entire playoffs, it's just like, where are you? And even in the regular season, man, he's just nowhere to be found. This guy sucks. We're paying him way too much money, and he's the captain of our team, and it's the wrong person got the C. There's no reason in the back of my mind, especially after the season that we did not have a captain, and who was it? It was the Russian kid. What was his name? Kratsov. Kratsov tried to fight Igor. Was it Igor or was it it was Georgie? Who was it?
I think it was Igor.
Right? Whatever goalie it was, Kratsov tried to fight our goalie, and Kreider stepped in, said, absolutely effing not, and punched him in the face and ended it right then and there. That's the type of stuff that makes you the team captain. That's the type of stuff that when it gets leaked to the media, you know that this guy has our back. This guy cares about the team. He has the best interest of the team. He knows what's going on. He knows everything that there is. He just gets it. He gets it. Everybody feels comfortable about it. Not to mention he's scoring 50 goals a season. He produces. He's great. And you can talk all the shit about Chris Kreider you want. I'm going to fall on that stick all day, every single day. This guy is the man. He does everything he can. He's always in front of the goal. I know his boyfriend didn't show up for this playoff series in particular. He maybe had a goal, maybe an assist. I still don't know who got that goal at the end of game 5. Whatever. It doesn't matter now. But rip the C off this guy's chest. Give it to Chris Kreider, call it a day, and I think everybody's going to be better off, especially me, especially you guys, I'm sure. I think we're all in agreement here. I will go down on the stick and always say that CK20 will be my captain forever. He'll be my captain when he's hanging in the rafters at MSG, and he'll be my captain when he gets inducted into Toronto. The defensive core here, listen, Lindgren's hurt. It is what it is. Fox is hurt. All right, fine. Fox is still showing up. Again, you mentioned it, Aaron, with the whole hero ball type stuff. It doesn't always work. The NHL is a little bit different as compared to other sports where you're kind of almost expected to play hurt. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think Adam Fox made chicken salad of that chicken shit. He wasn't a liability out there. He wasn't getting beat every single time. Could it have been better? Yeah.
Tomato on that one.
He wasn't winning a Norris. But he wasn't hurting the team as bad as everyone thought he was. At least I thought. And, Keandre's Keandre. He was okay. It was serviceable. I wasn't upset with him. It's Trouba. Gustavsson was kind of a ghost. No good there. And I'm trying to think, who am I missing? Who's that sixth defenseman?
Gustafsson, Schneider.
Schneider played all right, too. I guess really the stem of my problems with the defense really comes down to the top. And if you're going to be the captain of this team and you're going to lead the charge, you got to lead from the top. You need to be, you don't got to be the best player on the ice, but you really need to show up and set an example for others around you. And if you're not playing well, nobody else is going to play well. And I think that's what happened here. We got dominated. There wasn't a solid offensive chance for it. I was like, let's go.
I think in the third period alone, it was like we had for chances to score, we had 12, and
shots,
the Panthers had like 35 in the series.
I don't know. Better team won. That's showbiz. That's sports. There's nothing I could say. You guys can call me a pedo. You can call me this. You can call me that. I don't care. I'm going down with the ship. This is New York Rangers hockey. This is how it goes. My dad said it best. We've been doing this for years. We know this song and dance. It's never going to be easy. Our day is going to come. When it will be, I don't know. I thought this was it. Shame on me. I don't know.
I think
hard to go off on a tirade. I'm just it's just setting in. Like this is
I
tough.
think the most that you got, so the delusional was definitely said quite a few times by some Panthers fans last stream as well, Jerry.
Yeah,
so
all right, fine. Yeah, okay. Sorry for trying to hype my guys up and being a fan. My bad. You know what? What do you want me to say, guys? You want me to say we're gonna go into Game 6 and just lay an absolute egg like we did tonight? No, I'm not gonna do that. I went on all my social medias. I made a guarantee. I said we were gonna win tonight. I called my shot. I was wrong, and I'm here. Listen, I said to these two, actually just to Chris, because Aaron wasn't on last show, but I said it in the group chat too. I said, hey, I'm going out tonight. I'm celebrating my birthday. Bygones are going to be bygones. I'm almost 30. I'm going to do what almost 30-year-olds do and whatever. I'm not going to say it out loud. You could put two and two together. And I said to Chris, I'm like, look, I'll be on the stream if we win. I'll be going crazy. But if we lose, I'm not going to be here. We got home, 8 minutes left in the third. I said, I'm in for tonight. Win or lose, doesn't matter. I'm here. I'm here to pay my penance. And you can say everything you want to say to me right now. I'm going to answer to my crimes. I'm not going to look at the chat. Sorry, not sorry. I don't care. We're not engaging with trolls. I was told specifically by HQ not to engage with trolls. I'm okay with that. And listen, it sucks. It sucks. All right, we lost. We're out of the playoffs. It's fine. Whatever. We get to all enjoy our summers now. Chris has to watch miserable baseball. Aaron's going to hang out and work at Amazon, do his whole thing, whatever. But listen, I'm here. You want to fight me? You want to call me a pedo? You want to say shave your mustache? You want to say all this stuff? I don't care. I'm not going to listen. I have this mustache. It's here to stay. We're going to come back next October. We're going to kick your teeth in again and then probably get eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals again. I don't know. That's just how it goes. This is New York Rangers hockey at its finest. But you know what? The fact of the matter is we're here. I'm getting Snapchats from Islanders fans, not to make this about them because it's not, but I'm getting Snapchats from Islanders fans saying, Rangers, must suck. Oh, I can't believe it. No, where the hell are you guys? You guys have been on the golf course since April. Give me a break. Give me a break. Show up when it matters. Chirp me when we're playing good. Be there the entire time to be in my ear. Get the hell out of here. Yeah. Panthers fans, I'll give you a pass. You guys are a good team. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not rooting for you in the cup because I think you guys are pieces of shit. That's neither here nor there. But also at the same time, you guys are a good team. And I give credits due to my opponents with the exception of Asher. I believe, Asher. With the exception of Asher, Asher is the one gracious Panthers fan that's been here day in and day out, said, hey, the Rangers are a good team. It is what it is. This is going to be a good series. And it was. Yeah, sure. We got outplayed 5-on-5. Sure, whatever. The power play didn't show up. The penalty kill was whatever. And all this stuff happened. But the fact of the matter is this is a great series. I think it was great for ratings. I think it was great to watch. It was a lot of fun to follow. It was a lot of fun to analyze and come in here night in and night out and do my shows. But this is just sometimes this is just how it goes, and that's going to be that. And now we're going to pretend to like baseball, watch some golf, and go on our summer vacation. And then in October we get to do it all again, and I can't wait for it. I'm sorry to keep going off in these tirades, man, but there's just nothing to talk about. This team just didn't show up in a game where it mattered most, and it just hurts my soul. It hurts my soul so goddamn much, man. God damn it.
And talking about no-shows, we will get into the offense here in just a second, but I want to shout out a couple comments here. One, let's just go in a row here. Let me just do this. First of all, shout out to you, Margaret. Found your channel.
Go
An Oilers fan here in the chat.
Yeah.
We'll maybe you know what? Go Oilers. Get one. We're Oilers fans now. Go Oilers. Mm-hmm. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Shesterkin was awesome. The team didn't come together. Can't win playing last 2 minutes.
You
Absolutely.
can't. No,
Absolutely
you
right.
can't.
That's it. And we do have a couple of super chats from Mr. John as well. Little trolling involved, but we appreciate the super chats here, donating to the channel. Super chats are always welcome. We appreciate you all being here. Whether you're here to troll, whether you're here to be supportive, whether you're here to just shoot the shit with us, we appreciate it. So thank you for being here. John says, I thought Rempe was going to save you with a $2 super chat. He follows up by saying, you lose, go home and get lost. And then finally, something about your mom, Jerry, which was
My mom's a great
classic.
woman.
But
All right, guys. She's a good woman. She's working,
listen, we
whatever.
always, yes.
Keep watching the show, all right? Keep watching the show and keep giving us your money. We appreciate your donation, pal. Go fucking
Shout
Oilers.
out
You're
to
going to get knocked
Outwardly
out in
Cross
5.
as well. Shout out to Outwardly Cross. Panthers fan, best of luck next year. With the cap in mind, can the Rangers construct the team to have more defensive-minded team next year? God bless. First of all, thank you for the super chat as well. $5 super chat. Appreciate you being a gracious and respectful Panthers fan as well. Hats off to you all. Like I said, better team won. And good luck, obviously, in the finals. What do you all think about this? All things considered. And obviously, we don't have to have the direct answers here tonight for Outwardly Cross. But the fact of the matter is we will be doing a season review, and we will also probably be talking about the offseason to come. So what do you think about this, Jerry?
It's pretty accurate, though we definitely need to have better
Who's on the
defensive
market?
players.
I haven't even looked as far. Is there any?
We haven't looked yet.
No. Is there any big?
I wouldn't mind Matt
Aaron, you're the
Dumba.
guy.
I wouldn't mind Matt Dumba on the cheap. He's a free agent
Okay.
after this year. That's a pretty good guy. I wouldn't mind either for the Utah team. Sean Dursey. That's a decent defensive player right there.
Is there? Excuse me. Is there gonna be a? I guess not, right? Because it's just gonna be the Coyotes. There's no expansion draft or anything like that, right? They're just moving.
Yeah, I don't think so. Just because they are moving, so it would technically still be their team.
Yeah, the roster's just carrying over. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to also think about who's going where. We're pretty locked up. We got Lindgren for, I think, a year or two left. Trouba's here forever because we paid him a shit ton of money and gave him the C to make him feel special. And then Key's not going anywhere anytime soon. Believe he's on either the. I could be wrong about that. He might be on the tail end of his rookie deal, but we have to really dive into this. I kind of want to table this to maybe whatever next week, the week after, whenever we do like the recap show and like looking ahead and all that stuff. That's a better question then. But he gave us a lot of money, so we're going to talk about it now. And Fox is Fox. Fox is going to get surgery, and then after that, he's going to go back to a Norris Trophy winning defenseman. So I'm confident there about that. There's not. I don't really know. If you got to trim some fat here, Schneider might be on the chopping block despite his good play. You could probably get rid of Gustavsson. I think Gustavsson was somewhat of a rental. I believe we got him on the cheap for a short-term deal. Whether it was
a 1 year deal, so he's a
1 year
free
deal.
agent.
So he might be on the chopping block there. That's going to free up a good spot. I think whoever we get, we need a tough nose, stay-at-home type defenseman who's going to protect the house. And that's something we didn't have this year. Everybody was kind of, the name of the game this year with the New York Rangers was we're going to catch you in transition. We're going to move the puck. We're just going to extend the ice to 200 feet to 300 feet. And it just didn't work here because the Panthers game is the complete opposite, where we're going to trap you and make 200 feet worth of ice feel like 50. And there's just going to be nowhere to go, and you're not going to be able to figure it out. We saw it the entire time. The entire series, we saw it. We looked lost. We couldn't get anything going. And I don't know. I mean, I think we got to heavy up somewhere, somehow, as far as defense goes. So we'll see who's on the market. We'll see what we can add.
I think that Nikita Zadorov, he's 29, but he's a big dude. He was great for the Flames and Vancouver at that time. That's a good defensive player. If Chris Tanev, I think he's hurt right now in the Oilers, but if he is good to go, that's a great defensive player. He changed the Dallas Stars in the middle of the year. I don't want a Brady Shea reunion. I just feel like he's like Adam Fox, just an offensive defenseman. And I wouldn't even mind Shane Gossesbear because even though he was with Detroit
I like
last
Ghost
year,
Bear. I would
he
love
was
to have
very good
Ghost
for
Bear.
the Flyers.
You know what? I was looking into because I know Jacob Trouba has a couple of years left on his deal. He signed a 7-year, $56 million extension, I believe, back in 2019. So I was like, maybe a contending team might take a stab at Jacob Trouba, but not for $8 million a year. So that's going to be a little tough one to offload if the Rangers
So
wanted to do that.
if we cut him, it's like 4 mil that we would have in cap, and then the next 2 years it would be 2 mil dead cap. So it's all just if Dolan wants to pay that, which I doubt it, because if this is James Dolan, but
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We don't really know how those conversations between Chris Drury and Dolan work. We kind of know how it works with Leon Rose now and Dolan. I kind of like that dynamic as well. So maybe we'll be singing a little bit of a different tune about James Dolan, but I don't want to give too much props on that just yet.
That's
But
my
anyways,
guy.
listen.
James Dolan's
Shout out
my
to
guy.
Asher.
Thank you, Asher.
$15 donation
Thank you.
right to Mr. Jerry. Happy
I
B-Day,
appreciate
Jerry.
that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
That's awesome. Be going right to Jerry. Absolutely. What else we got here? We got a couple of other comments in here. This is a funny one. Listen, this just take a look at the handle in the comment. This is gold. Love this. I love this.
that's a good one. I did see one from
That's a good
Hollywood
one.
Ray of That's My Sports and Missing the Point. He asked if the overtime games kind of hurt us. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Let me go
Again,
off
I
that.
think that's showbiz. I think that's what you
Yeah.
sign up for when you're in the NHL playoffs. The best NHL playoff games of all time have always gone to overtime. That's what everybody remembers, and obviously this is going to kind of get forgotten about. But, that double overtime win in game 2 was probably one of the best Ranger games in the past 3 to 4 years, give or take. And, I still remember a meaningless double overtime game against the Sabres in 2006. Like it's things like that that stick with Rangers fans forever. That could like, wow, what could have been, type deal. And I don't know. It sucks. It obviously would have been would have meant a lot more if we, climbed the mountain. But sometimes you just can't win them all.
Yeah.
Also, hats
absolutely.
off to Matthew Tkachuk for kind of keeping his cool here. I really thought he was going to be a POS the entire series, and
For real.
he was just a good player. There was never one time that I was MFing him, and I was really surprised about that because I thought he was going to be an absolute pest.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's talk about the offense, right? We kind of
Or
went over
lack thereof.
or lack thereof. You see the ghost right under Panarin's name. 23 shots on goal. Not good. Not good. We always talk about quality versus quantity. We always talk about just throwing the puck at the net. And like you said, Jerry, that Panthers defensive scheme was just suffocating. It just felt like
The
the
whole time.
Rangers the whole time. It was nauseating to watch through the screen because it's like, are the Rangers going to finally figure it out? Like we've been seeing the same kind of looks. Are they doing the same kind of things out on the ice? Is it the same patterns? But no, there was no figuring out that suffocating defense. And obviously, like I said already before, the block shots as well. That doesn't help you. And especially when you have an elite goaltender, 2-time Vezina award winner, Mr. Sergei Bobrovsky, gets that much more difficult. So let's talk about the three-headed monster. Obviously, I don't think Lafreniere is going to be included in this, although he was a little bit quiet today as well. Obviously, age-wise, we're not including.
Don't even try to lump him
Yeah.
in with whatever you're about to say.
No. We're talking about, who we're talking about. Mr. Panarin, Mr. Kreider, and Mr. Zibanejad. This is a tough
Did
conversation to
Kreider
have.
play that bad?
No, I agree with you.
Didn't think
But
he was horrendous.
I
The other
agree with
two are
you.
inexcusable, but I don't think Kreider was. I don't think it's fair for Kreider to be lumped into that conversation either.
I just don't
I
like that he
don't
always tries to go
either.
for shorthanders, the
Yeah.
most. I know it's his forte, but like it wasn't really working in this series. And I get he had the one goal in game 5.
So to me, I mean, listen, listen, I agree with you, Jerry, but the production matters, right? To Rangers fans, at the end of the day, the production matters.
Again, New
And
York
he
sports. What have you
didn't
done for me lately?
produce. Yeah, exactly. And so we're going to be hearing these conversations, gents, like this whole entire offseason. We heard it after last season, right? Especially surrounding Artemi Panarin and his lack of showing in that playoff series. And we're going to hear it again because this is a conversation that's not going to go away within this fan base. Where do you all stand at? I'm very curious to get a vibe check with this core nucleus on the offensive side of the puck, right? When you take into account, and I think we have to have a conversation surrounding Capo Caco because he was absolutely god awful as well. Lack of fundamentals, literally gave the Rangers nothing. But we can save that conversation. Let's talk about the main guys here. Where are you at with them? Curious.
They were great in the first round. And then when it got to crunch time, big games, nowhere to be found. So I think they should kind of blow it up in a sense, like just trade who you can trade. If they don't want to go, they don't want to go. But something's got to give.
I got two.
You think it's that serious to blow it
up? No.
I would.
I don't know.
It hasn't worked. We've been to 5 Eastern Conference Finals last 12 years. Only went to one Stanley Cup out of it. Didn't even win it. And the last 3 years, we went to one Eastern Conference Final. Got the doors beat off by a very experienced team and the Tampa Bay Lightning, and nothing's changed. Nothing's happened. Yeah, we won a President's Trophy, but they don't show up in the big moments. Like, how can you trust them?
I'm going to save these guys in the chat a second here and just say I'm going to be delusional real quick, and I'll call it for what it is. The fact that people look at things and say 5 Eastern Conference Finals in the past 12 years is unsuccessful to me is wild. Because you look at teams. When was the last time the Minnesota Wild has made it past the first round?
Never.
When was the last time the Buffalo Sabres have made the playoffs? There are so many, there's 32 teams in this great league that we love to watch now. And the fact that the Rangers are always there and they're always in the conversation and they're always going on these deep runs, it shows for something. Obviously, I want to be walking down Wall Street, beer in hand, in a tank top and shorts, drunk off my ass, doing whatever at a ticker tape parade. It can't always be like that, and that's just showbiz. But also, there's no reason to sit here other than the fact that I'm defeated, I'm depleted, I'm whatever right now. This sucks. There's no two ways about it. This sucks right now, but I'm not proud. I mean, I'm not proud. I'm very happy for the run we went on. It was great. I've seen 3 friends and other people just DMing me on socials and just saying yeah, baby, let's go Rangers. They all know this is your team, my guy. You've been here for as long as I've known you or whatever. I'm watching now. I'm rooting for you. I hope you guys do well. You are doing well. It's great. It's fun. And that's awesome to see. And the success for the New York Rangers is there. You look at a team like the Knicks. The Knicks just made the playoffs for the first time, 3 years ago in the past 20 years? Things could be so much worse. So much worse. And the fact of the matter is, going back to what you were saying before, Aaron, about blowing it up, you got to get there. You got to get there. And it's guys like Panarin and it's guys like Mika who put up 120 points in the regular season and score 45 goals on a regular basis in the regular season. That's what gets you there. And we need them to show up. And I'm going to come out and say this right now. As far as the 3-headed monsters go, with kind of not really talking about Kreider, but lumping him into the conversation because he's part of it. It was better than last year. It was way better than last year. Granted, I guess we only played one series last year. But if you look at last year in the first round, they were absolute ghosts. But if you look at the first round for Panarin and Zibanejad had 14 points across the first 2 series. It's pretty damn good. He got dominated by the Panthers. The Panthers are a great hockey team. They're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Bad teams don't go to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's just a fact of the matter. They're the better team. They won the series. That's how it goes. And I don't know what the deal with Bread was. Bread finally got his first one tonight. Bob probably felt bad about it, and they're going to have a word about it over Christmas dinner when they hang out. But, there's zero reason to blow this up as far as the 3 of them go. And again, I'm shifting my hate here. I know I was on Mika's case the entire season. We made up. I'm cool with him. I'm cool with Keandre. Mark my words here. My hate is being focused now on Jacob Trouba. Until further notice, Jacob Trouba is on the list. That's my guy. I'm going to go after him. I'm going to just relentlessly dog him until he does something productive. Sure, these big hits are great, but what does that do for the team? It worked, I guess, last year when he did whatever with the helmet toss and all that stuff. But this is different now. You got to show up and play. You got to be productive. You got to bring something to the table here. I think the lack of production in the Eastern Conference Finals, it hurt and it wasn't great and it was bad for morale. But shit happens, and when you're a superstar and you do what you do, the team you're playing is going to focus. You look at football, for example. When you have an all-star receiver, or even on the other side of the ball with an all-star cornerback, they're just not going to play. They're not going to play you. The team you're playing is going to figure out a game plan to shut you down and take you out of the equation. And I think that's exactly what happened with Panarin. And I think that's exactly what happened with Mika Zibanejad. Not to say that both of them did not have chances. And Mika did make some boneheaded plays with his head up his ass. But I think Panarin was completely taken out of the conversation from this Florida Panthers team, which good on them. Because that's how it should be. And that's what we should have done with Reinhart and the other bald-headed guy who scored the first goal, whose name I can't remember, who's also Sam and all this good stuff.
Sam Bennett.
Yeah, that's it.
Sam Bennett, yep.
But that's just what you have to do, and that's what it takes to win. It's going to be a new game next year. That's it. It's going to be, I imagine most of this team is going to return, minus, the Gustavsons and the Wenbergs and the Roslovics, although I would like to see Roslovic come back maybe for another year or so. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason to panic, because I'd rather go on a deep playoff run and have heartbreak on June 1st than just, sit around with my dick in my hand on April 20th and just say, oh, well, that's it. Yeah, whatever. I'd rather have sustained success and not reach the mountaintop than have just a meteoric season with no end game.
Right. No, I agree with that. Hey, listen, real quick before we get into, I mean, obviously Aaron already gave his sort of opinion there in terms of blowing it up, which I think I'm on your side, Jerry, here with this one. I'm not sure it's drastic enough to blow it up, but I do understand the sample size that you're talking about behind the logic, Aaron. It makes sense theoretically, and the Mets can attest to this very conversation, although these are two organizations that have very different sort of experiences when it comes to at least making the playoffs, right? But no, I hear you there. What about this, right? Because we said all off season, even before we, kind of blew up on the Blueshirts banner post game, right? With these post games in the playoffs, when we were doing our weekly recaps during the season way back when, which feels like forever ago, but was only literally like 5 months ago, somewhere around that time frame. We were talking about how this season, more or less, was cup or bust, and there was no sort of wins we take from this season unless they were holding up that Stanley Cup trophy at the end of the day. And I'm not going to change my tune on that, because I said that and I stand by it. Season's a failure. They didn't win the Stanley Cup. I'm sorry. That's just how I view it. I think this team, with the personnel they had, right, this was a Stanley Cup trophy winning team. They were the best team in the regular season. Obviously, it doesn't mean much. We know it doesn't mean much. So whatever for that. But I do think that this is a failure of a season, and I'm not going to backtrack. You can rewind it. We probably had only 30 or 40 views on that stream. So appreciate you all being here if you're late to the party on the Blueshirts Banner podcast. But are you all sticking to that word? I just have to know.
No, I don't know. I think cup or bust is a bullshit reasoning. Last year was cup or bust. Like you can call every year a cup or bust if you want, and it's just every year, every team. It should be cup or bust for every team, because what do you go into the regular season as? Oh, you know what? We're gonna walk in. Maybe we'll get 35 wins and we'll figure something out. Man, I don't know. No, you want to win the Stanley Cup. Every year should be cup or bust. I think that's such a bullshit nomenclature that, and again, copium, whatever these Panthers fans call
Copium.
me. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, it sucks. You want to win. This team had a great shot at winning, and it felt great. All these parallels between 94 and again with the delusional Jerry and doing all this stuff. But like, shit happens. And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to tell you this right now. We'll be back in the Eastern Conference Finals next year, and I'm not worried about it because most of this team is going to be returning. This core is not going anywhere. Again, I said it last year when everyone was like, oh, it's cup or bust, break it up, do this, do that. No. Laugh staying, Kako staying. Well, again, I do want to talk about Kako. There should be a conversation to be had about Kako because Kako was an absolute ghost. We talked about Mika, we talked about Bread and how they were okay.
Horrible. Horrible. He was horrible.
A horrible playoff. And they Bread and Mika were just shut down by a better team here. It's probably, I don't want to say probably going to win the cup. It has a solid chance, but Kako is just he wasn't there during the Capitals playoffs. He got benched during the Canes. He got benched during the Florida. Like it's just you gotta be better there, man. And I'm rooting for Kako. And granted, this wasn't his greatest year. He did get hurt, but again, we're kind of healthy at this point. We need to see more out of you. But Lap's going nowhere. He's going. Kako's going nowhere. Truba's unfortunately going nowhere. Keandre's here to stay.
Kako's a restricted free agent.
Oh, is he? I thought we signed him.
No, this was his contract year.
Was it?
And he didn't deliver yet. No, so I mean the core here, they're all 30 and up. So that's why I think it's cup or bust because we're getting older.
The game changed though. 30 is not a scary number as much as it used to be anymore. People, you look at Joe Pavelski or even
well, it is with the cap that they have.
I guess that's true.
That's the thing. I mean, I don't mind. I mind, but I can't do anything about it. Because Panarin's cap's 11.6 for the next 2 years, and he's a free agent 2026, 2027. And Zibanejad is 8.5 throughout. Kreider's 6.5. Trocheck is 5.6 throughout. And Goodrow is a 3.6, as a third line center, left wing, however you want to put it. So that's why I think it was cup or bust, because it's looking like the 2014 team when we lost. 2015 team, sorry. That lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then we had to blow it up because everyone was just as old as this team, and then we had to go into that rebuild mode with Dan Quinn. So that's why I think it is. But again, we have the youth, but they just really didn't show up except for Lafreniere, which I'm very grateful that he did because as a number one pick. But yeah.
So a quick little note on the contract for Mr. Capo Caco. He signed that extension, 2-year extension back in 2022, I believe, which was basically kind of like a little trial run, right? After the rookie contract was up, obviously being drafted in 2019. So yes, he is a restricted free agent. Would not be shocked, honestly, if he's not here next year with the way we're kind of just speaking on him right now. But you never know. But yeah, no, I think we're going to have to take a look at the cap situation and just all the different scenarios that are at play here in the offseason because like Matt's saying in the chat, obviously you're getting close to the promised land and you can't just run it back, so to speak. And so that's where I agree with you, Aaron. They're not just going to completely run it back. There are going to be additions made or maybe additions by subtractions, right? Because that's how you can look at it as well. That's very valid if you look at it like that way. So we'll talk about all that in the off season. So stay tuned for that. We'll have a lot more content on that. But yeah, this is like just all hitting me now. Like Jerry said before, this is brutal. This is the last post game of the season, guys. That's
it's
crazy.
Shitty feeling.
It sucks. Shitty feeling. Shitty. Okay, this is the last thing I wanted to talk about today. The power play was abysmal this stretch, right? The last couple of games after starting off I think in the playoffs they started off 10 of their first 25 in successes on the power play. And I believe in this series, correct me if I'm wrong, they only had one power play goal. One power play goal.
The loneliest number.
Abysmal. And
but that's what happens though when you have big dudes like the Florida Panthers have that are not afraid to hit people. They're not, like that's what's going to happen to us because we have a lot of good skill guys. Like Zibanejad was getting destroyed. I don't care what, to this entire series he was getting rocked.
He was
hurt like every game.
Zib got hurt with that. Zib got hurt with that cross check when the stick got broken over his back.
Oh,
it was never the same.
Yeah,
never the same.
But that's what was good though with Florida is they had players like that. I was talking about us that we were the 2014 Kings, and look, like the Panthers were the 2014 Kings. Like my goodness, they were just hitting us left and right, left and right. I think it shook up a lot of these Rangers players, and on the power play game, if we did have a power play and we were in the Panther zone, it was like maybe 1 or 2 shots, not even. Like they were just passing more than they were shooting.
I think it comes down to the fact that, again, getting too cute with it and trying that transition game where they're trying to make something happen that just the Panthers weren't allowing it. But also at the same time, I mean, it's a moot point now, but let's shine a light on the Panthers power play. That was also non-existent. The Rangers penalty kill was pretty astronomical throughout the series as well. So that's a bright spot.
I think it was only like game 4 when it really started because of the Reinhardt. Or game 3, I guess, because he had the 2 in the game 3.
I'll say the direct result of that Panthers power play might have been that, but I will say the pressure that they at least put on the Rangers in that aspect was just 9 day different than what the return was for the Rangers on the power play. Like it was just 2 different feels.
It was like us against the Canes when we were dominating the Canes in the power play. They just reversed it on us.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's why they're moving on.
Yeah, that's why they're moving on, because guess what? The theme of this podcast and this stream is the better team won. It's undeniable.
It's all
a
you
lot
can
of you
say,
Panthers
man.
fans said it, and that's it. That's the bottom line.
I'm a gracious loser. You guys, I haven't looked at the chat. I have over 100 unread comments here, so I don't really care.
Yeah,
a lot of comments coming through.
But
we appreciate everyone being here.
I wouldn't. Yeah, the better team won, and I'm man enough to admit that, man. We just got dominated on all fronts, and good for you guys. I think you're in for a rude awakening if Edmonton closes the door tomorrow. I'll say that, but everyone thinks Dallas is going to come back, so we'll see what happens there. But
I don't know. Chris Tanev's out with a foot. That was the key guy.
Do you guys think, not to go off track here, but do you guys think if VC doesn't get hurt, things might happen differently?
On penalty kill, yes, because that was what he was used for. I believe you said, Jerry. I think it was game 4 when that was all going down since VC was hurt. Because I was like, he hasn't really been scoring much. And you're like, yeah, but he kills on the power on the penalty kill. So yeah, I think it affected a lot for us.
Florida wanted it more, Margaret. Absolutely, Florida wanted it more.
You saw that. You saw that tonight. You saw that tonight.
Yeah. I think this is all encompassing what I hope for. Extended
but for who?
Opportunities for Laugh next year. Just give him more of a role. Not more of a role because he obviously plays a huge role and has played a huge role, but you got to transition him to maybe be that guy outside of Panarin in terms of the opportunities on the offensive side of the puck, but also just the power play unit. This is a great comment in my perspective, to be honest with you.
I just don't know where you can fit him in, because as we saw when that power play was working, these guys literally finish each other's sentences. They know wherever. I mean, you can't speak for it in the Eastern Conference Finals, but anytime before that, they knew where everyone was going to be at every single given moment. No look passes, this, that, and the other thing, and everything worked. It was one of the best power plays in the league throughout the entire season. It's tough. That change is tough to make. Who are you gonna? You're gonna move. You're gonna move Zibanejad. You're gonna move Bread. You're gonna. There's not. I just feel like there's not a lot of room there. I see where the comment's coming from, and that's a change I would have made. In game 3 or something like that, after going 0 for 10, that makes sense if you want to make that change on the fly and try to shake things up. But as far as a permanent move, unless there's someone somewhere doesn't make the roster next year or gets shipped out or whatever, I can't see that core being touched on that power play one.
I think this is a philosophy change for me when we talk about, at times this season we talked about Rangers making maybe one too many passes, and now especially the overarching sort of, I guess, philosophy of throwing shots and pucks at the net rather than making that extra pass that might just blow the entire opportunity up. So Laugh is not afraid to put pucks on the net, and that's what I respect. So I think it's really about philosophy moving forward. But I agree with you, Jerry. On the flip side, it is hard to argue with the results in the regular season, but at the end of the day, production's what matters when it matters the most, and it wasn't there in this Eastern Conference Finals. That's for damn sure. Anyways, that's just my take
I
on
would
that.
take
Aaron,
Zibanejad out of the first power play.
I was thinking.
That's what I would do. I
That's
mean,
what
you
I would
don't.
have done in game 3, but again, I don't know
Yeah.
if I want to necessarily make that move for 82 games.
Yeah. We got Mr. Actually, don't know if it's Mr. or Mrs. So apologies about that. But 1189 Paris, who's been also with us the entire series, in the entire playoffs, I believe, on this stream. So we appreciate you. Got a couple of comments for the defenseman here for the New York Rangers. Obviously, one is getting rid of Jacob Trouba. Don't think it's going to happen just with the contract structure. But Aaron stated maybe some other possible ways that could happen. And maybe the Rangers, like I said, adding by subtracting. And what do you think about this though? Because I honestly think Keandre Miller played fair. He didn't play. I, I see that shaking in the head. Like I don't know. He didn't play as bad as Truba. He probably didn't play as bad as Fox, in my opinion. I'm not saying Fox played terrible, like Jerry said, but like I don't know.
Yeah,
What do
he
you
was
guys have
lost,
opinion
man.
on
He
that?
Fox is
wasn't
going to
the
get
same.
surgery, and he's probably not going to play until like December next year.
Yeah, he
Fox
was
is
Keandre
hurt
hurt.
Miller,
He's
since the
hurt.
Washington.
yeah. I'm not sure if you all saw the camera angle of Keandre Miller on that bench, like with like 2 minutes left to go before they actually scored the goal, but he was like seeing ghosts out there. Like he's like, I cannot believe we just got whopped like that. Like that's crazy. Uh,
He didn't
anyway,
do anything. Like I don't know why he's acting all stunned, like he was contributing. He was acting like Dan Boyle out there. He was just there. Like he has no leg to stand on. I don't know why he was looking at ghosts.
by the way, also, Trocheck played pretty damn well. Probably not as
Oh
good,
yeah.
to be honest with you, as the Carolina series. Barclay Goodrow, a little bit quiet as well. Just top to bottom, right? It just feels like the last couple games, just like the guys who usually produce, just didn't have enough left in the tank. That's just what it felt like, to be honest with you. That's it.
You hit a wall.
Bygones are bygones,
You hit
but
a wall. You know, it
yeah,
sucks, and that's just you got to be able to dig into that reserve tank. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of the same
yeah.
deal with the Knicks here. We're just key guys got hurt. It impacted their performance. Unlike basketball, they still suit up and play because this is hockey and we're hockey tough, and that's how it goes. And unfortunately, in this case, it hurt the team more than it helped, and that's just how it goes. It sucks. This hurts to say, but I also can't sit here and say I think 100% healthy New York Rangers beats this Florida team. I think it would have went. I think we would have won tonight. I think it would have went 7-7 would have been a whole dogfight. But I don't think. I think they would have shown up tonight.
Could have been. We'll never know. I guess we'll never know.
We won't know.
What
And
does
the
that
fact of
mean?
the
I guess
matter
we'll
is, it
never
does
know.
not matter. Yeah, that's facts.
1189 Paris has been screaming for Zach Jones this entire series, even before the series. And now Jordan's also agreeing, and I've been agreeing as well. Zach Jones is going to get big opportunities next season if I had to just forward think.
And you
He
got to
just
look ahead, too.
is.
We got Ottman in the chamber. He's
Yeah.
down there. Edstrom's in the chamber. There's
Mhm.
so much. And that kid from BC or whatever, that other
Gabe
college.
Perot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
There's
guy's
so much
nice.
talent in the pipeline that I read through the chat because we just hit a little bit of a lull. So I looked, and this is the first time I've looked in about, I don't know, 30 minutes. There's one thing I want to say. Modine, I'm not coming at you, pal. I'm not going to attack you here, but I want to just touch upon what you said. Modine said the Rangers have a tough road ahead. They won't be as good next year, and unless they land some trades, their defensive pipeline has dried out. You're right about defense. Our defense is trash. We got to figure that out. That's a whole other fight that we're going to figure out. However, what I do want to say is we heard the same argument last year. Last year, when we got bounced in the first round with Patrick Kane and Vladimir Tarasenko and all these big splash acquisitions we made at the deadline, everyone's like, this team is dead. They're too old. They can't do this. They can't do that. And look what happened. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Like, this is just New York Rangers hockey, and this is what we do. Everyone's going to always do the same conversation. It's always going to come up, but you can't kill cockroaches. You just can't. So we'll figure it out one day, and one day everything's going to click and everything's going to work, and we're going to win a Stanley Cup. When that is, I don't know. I hope it's before I'm 40 because I turn 30 next year. So we'll see. I don't know. But everything's going to be all right. That's it. I'm just, it sucks. It's whatever, but I'm not worried about next year. We're not going to have a top 5 draft pick. It's not going to be the end all be all. I'm pretty confident we'll make the playoffs. You look at this, our Hartford Wolfpack farm team. They've now gone on 2 very deep Calder Cup runs. That's the pipeline is there, guys. Like, it's nothing. We have a farm system. It's not like we traded away every single asset that we have to get these guys. That's not the case. We have hope in the chamber. We'll figure it out. We always do. That's it. So one of the best goalies in the league. He'll carry us to as far as he can carry us, and then we'll just try to figure it out around him. I don't know.
A little bit of a side note that has nothing to do with that, but I agree with you, Jerry. And they're once again asking you to bet. Like, it's hard to follow. Like, that's not realistic. Like, it's hard to follow up a President's Trophy winning season. So why would anyone make that bet, first of all? But anyways, that's besides the point. I think they're just trolling you at this point.
The fact
It's
that you're
kind of
calling me
just
Stephen A. Smith right now, I'm taking it as a compliment because Stephen A. Smith is, well, he might be
Very
full of shit
successful.
he might be full of shit most of the time. He's a very successful journalist. Yeah, I agree. I had the pleasure of meeting that man in my old office, and he's just
nice.
guy's
Very
a
nice.
star. Yeah, guys,
Sure.
you might be trying to insult me right now. I'm gonna take that one to the bank. That's gonna make my entire week, pal. So thank you.
Nothing wrong with that one. Absolutely. I agree with that. But what I was going to say before we give our closing thoughts here is that this Panthers team, as good as they looked, I don't think Vladimir Tarasenko had a point this series outside of his goal, no? Or that was his first goal this series. I'm not sure. Did he have any points?
Yeah,
I
I believe he
think in
had
the
an assist or two.
first round. No, not in this one. I guess the Rangers. They were talking about it, I think. I don't think he had anything except past the first round. That's why they were demoting him to, I believe, the second or third line.
That's what I heard too. And I could be, correct me if I'm wrong, because like I said, I don't really listen to those Panthers Nuggets, but I believe I heard that on the broadcast, and it's a little scary. That's a little scary to think about. But nonetheless, I digress there. Give the Panthers credit, but we don't want to be giving them too much credit. Anyways, regardless. Yeah, only 1 point for him in this entire series. Absolutely. Yeah, I thought I had it right. Absolutely.
Well, that sucks.
Your mustache is an American gem, Jerry. You never give it up, Mark says.
I'd run through a fire for that mustache.
Me too. Me too. I got a closing remark.
Yeah, final
And
thoughts
it
here.
has nothing to
Final
do with
thoughts here.
anything we talked about. It's just kind of like I hopped on Twitter during a low in the conversation just to see whatever. And shocker to no one's surprise, especially me being from Long Island, we got Islanders fans just dancing on our graves. And there's 2 ends.
And Devils fans.
I
fans.
don't care about
Rent free.
I don't care about Devils fans. The Devils haven't mean anything to me. Marty was Marty, and it's never gonna be like that ever again. I don't care about the Devils fans. They're pieces of shit. Islanders fans I have a personal vendetta against I won't get into. But they're just celebrating and this, that, the other thing, whatever. They're doing that like they, didn't blow their chances to make the playoffs on their own accord. They had controlled their own destiny. They could have made it if they wanted to, but they didn't want to, and they weren't good. They couldn't hack it. And then they screwed themselves because they don't have a good draft pick, and they didn't make the playoffs, so whatever. But the worst thing is though, it's like you get hit with the 84th and 85 times, 84th year and 85 or whatever. I don't know. We didn't win the Stanley Cup. No, we did not. But yeah, thank you, Error. I agree. Although once upon a time they weren't, I will give the early 2000s, mid 2000s Devils their flowers. I think they were a good team. But these Islanders fans, it just sucks because there's no good comeback here. There's no good comeback. It's like you can't say like, "What'd you guys do? What happened here? Like, where were you?" It's like it doesn't matter because now, how was golf last week, whatever. It's like, oh, I don't know. We'll see you tomorrow on the course. Like, there's just no good comeback. And that just hurts my soul just a little bit. Not to end on a downer note here, but I don't know. Closing remark. The real closing remark is we'll see you next year. We're going to be back. We're going to be back right here, same time, same place, not worried about a bit. Probably, hopefully, going into the top of the mountain here instead of being here depressed as all hell. But I'm not worried. Everyone's here. Everyone's here is worried. They're chirping me. They're doing this, doing that. I'm fully confident in my team, just like I was last year. Whenever I said this before, when everyone was saying, blow it up, it's over, they're too old, they're too this, they're too that. No. We're the New York Rangers. We always find a way. We're cockroaches. You're not going to kill us. One bad loss it is what it is. We'll bounce back. Kreider's going to score another 50 goals next year. Mika's going to do what he does in the regular season. Let's preface that. Panarin, same ordeal, but hopefully. But like I said last show, though, we figured out how to play 20, and then we figured out how to play 40, and now we just need to figure out how to play 60. Panarin and Zibanejad figured out how to play the first round. They figured out how to play the second round. And now they just need to figure out how to make the home stretch into the Stanley Cup Finals. And that's that. You know, you learn, you grow. You got to also keep Zibanejad doesn't really have the conversation here, but you got to keep in mind Panarin was never really on a successful team that's made these deep runs until he got to New York. Now he's finally making these deep runs. He's been to 2 Eastern Conference Finals in 3 years? So be it. That's just I can't see it getting worse. I know everyone's saying about age and this, that, and the other thing, but this is different now. This is hockey. They're not running backs. They're not disposable. People play in the NHL until they're 40 years old, and they're good. Joe Pavelski's nearly 40. Joe Thornton was nearly 40 when he retired. Unfortunately, he couldn't figure it out. He got to the Stanley Cup Finals, but he was good to the day he retired. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'm sad because I don't get to watch my hockey team play anymore, and I just have to go about living life now, watching movies, going out, enjoying nature, enjoying my summer, going to concerts, whatever. It's fun. We'll have a good couple months, and then Hard Knocks will start in August, and we'll, go right back into the sports cycle again. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sit here and say the future looks bright, but I'm not worried in the slightest. I'm pretty confident that we'll be right back here next year.
You don't have to though, Jerry. You don't have to because Adonis is saying it for us. And you had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie, Adonis, when I first started reading this message. But shout out to you because there are actually cool Panthers fans on here on this platform that tune into the stream. So started off with the little troll, but he's just playing. In all seriousness, you were great all playoffs. And I have so much respect for Igor. Bright future ahead. GG's boys. Appreciate you, GG's.
Yeah, I'll
And
take the high
don't
road.
want to
Good
say
luck
good
to you
luck because
guys.
I don't think any one of us are going to root for the Panthers in this
No,
upcoming series.
absolutely
But
not. But I'll say
nonetheless,
good luck.
gentlemen, good luck. We'll say good luck. And it was a good series. And you know what? Can only hope for a rematch next season, Lord willing, if we get that far. So, because I don't think this Panthers team is going to be going anywhere, to be honest with you. Anyways, regardless. Final closing remarks. Also forgot to say, do please subscribe. If you're subscribed to CP New York Sports, make sure you go subscribe to Sunny Days Media 516 YouTube channel. You can search up this handle in the YouTube search section, or you can go to the actual description of this stream that's on my channel because this is being dual streamed to Sunny Days Media 516 and CP New York Sports. And make sure you go hop on over there and subscribe, especially for just great Mets content, great football content with football season just around the corner. And obviously, we'll be doing a lot more Blueshirts banner and it'll be being dual casted, dual streamed, whatever you want to talk and say to both channels. So make sure you do that, please. Aaron, final words here.
Yeah, first off, I'm getting myself a Matt Rempe Hartford Wolfpack jersey. I don't care.
Do it.
And second of all, appreciate Mark G right here. Says Jerry, Aaron, CP are amazing. That matters. They've repped their team with integrity and respect. It was a great intro to a new team for me. Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, we just talk the facts, man. Like, there's, we're just here, 3 dudes doing some Rangers content. Loved every minute of it from the beginning of the season all the way into the playoffs. I think the Rangers will come back a little bit better. We just got to make some roster cuts because we only have 11 million cap for this year. And yeah, it was a pleasure, boys, being on this stream. And LFGR.
Yes, that's great closing remarks. I don't have anything else, man. LFGR is right. We're gonna stick by this team no matter what, whether they win, whether they lose. Obviously, during this entire we didn't miss a single playoff game this entire run. We went live for, I believe, every single one of them in some sort of capacity, whether it was all three of us on the stream or a combination of us two. Obviously, we have outside lives. We do have stuff to do, whether you know it or not. But nonetheless, appreciate you all being here. This is a great question from Jordan. Just to
Yeah.
sort of, I guess, answer this myself. We have plans. Listen, Blue Shirts banner was actually stood up at the beginning of this season. And like Jerry said in the opening remarks of this stream, it was a very slow start for us in terms of getting the actual sort of viewership going on this sort of Rangers content over here on YouTube. But what we do have moving forward, because we did it all season long, we did weekly in-season recaps. So we didn't go live after every game, although that's something that we can definitely explore to do next season. We can sort of do a post game and stand that up, but we do weekly recaps. So we'll basically take the week in review and we'll talk about all the games that we're encompassing in that week. But we also will be doing off-season content. We will be doing a season review, most likely in the next week, maybe week and a half, once we get our thoughts collected and take some time off and time off from hockey, because I'm going to be on this channel talking Mets and everything else. So I'm not going anywhere, but time off from hockey. And we're
Take
going
a
to go about that way.
vacation.
So a lot more content. Yeah, a lot more content on the way, just to answer your question there, Jordan. But yeah, I literally have nothing else to say. This has been a tremendous, tremendous season, not only for the Rangers, although I do think, like I said, I'm not going to backtrack. Cup or bust. I know, Jerry, you disagree with it because it's always cup or bust every single season. Understand you, hear you. But like you said as well, we will be back. Make no mistake about it. And just for this stream and this podcast, right? Think I'm gonna also do audio only podcast. I'm gonna be able to download that and upload that into Spotify. If anyone's interested in hearing audio only, that's something that we can explore for the next season as well, and even for the off-season content. So make sure you all are giving us some feedback. Comment on the video what we could do better. Even we obviously take recommendations. We appreciate it. We appreciate your input, especially if you're a Rangers fan. This is designed and geared towards you, but we appreciate every one of our listeners. So yeah, that's what we got. This has been tremendous growth. This has been cool to see stand up. Appreciate interacting with every single one of you, whether you're here to troll us, whether you're here to support us with integrity and graciousness. We definitely appreciate you, and we are not going anywhere. That's it. That's the bottom line. So that's all I got. Nothing else to add. Let's go Rangers, LFGR. Appreciate you. Make sure you check out the channel memberships as well if you're interested, to get those cool little emojis as well during future live streams and in the comment sections of future pre-recorded podcasts that will be dropped on this channel, whether it's Rangers content, Mets content, New York Giants content, or New York Knicks content. Make sure you check out those channel memberships right on the channel homepage. So like I said, one final sign off here for the 2023-2024 New York Rangers Blue Shirt Banner post-game streams. We will be back sooner than you can imagine. Keep subscribing, tell your friends, tell your family. And with that, Jerry, Aaron, salute. We will be obviously communicating back and forth, and we will be planning whether it's a live stream or pre-recorded, that's TBD, but we will be doing a season in review here soon. So keep rocking with us. Thank you so much for the support from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate it. And as always, let's go Rangers. Peace.